crowd today. I had to put my cheaters on. All right. Well,
nice beard.
yeah, thank you very much. It comes off as I beat Brown Sugar Jones. If he's out there,
You hope.
if he's out there,
He's out there.
All right, some Saturday Night Delight.
There you go,
more legs on. I gotta beat you so I can shake this crap off my face. Now you mark, son.
I got some foot trail back.
Well, tonight I've been given the honor of introducing the next inductee into the Covey Pro Hall of Fame. Y'all know who it is? All right, y'all know who it is. None other than Eric Crazii Shea. I started here with Covey Pro 4 years ago, and I was working security at the Sportatorium for one of our shows, and first time I met Crazii Shea's, I'm standing there looking at the crowd. This was about 70 pounds ago, and I feel something hit the back of on my back. I'm looking around. What the hell is that? I feel it again. I can't see this whatever's hitting me. So finally, I feel this hit on the third time. I turned around, and it was this little guy in these white gimmick pants. I had never seen this guy before in my life. I turned to Penny and I go, Penny, should I throw this guy out? She goes, no, that's Crazii Shea. I said, who? She goes, never mind, leave him alone. And he taps me on the back and he goes, stay there because I want to surprise the kids. I'm thinking, oh, all right, well, whatever, just stay behind me. Because I wasn't going to let him get closer to the ring. And then sure enough, when he came out, everybody exploded, and I was like, holy crap, this is really somebody. I got to get to know this guy. Then that next Saturday, the following week, I went in for training, and instead of Buddha and Just in Time, there's this little guy in the ring. I'm thinking, wait, he looks like the guy that was hitting me on the back. Who the hell was this guy? And luckily enough, I was fortunate that he was my trainer. Even though Tatanka had signed my certificate of completion, Crazii Shea was there every day for darn near 16 months. And every Saturday he was there. Every time we had a training session, he was there. And he and I became, oddly enough, very good friends. And he's got a great backstory. Like 15 years ago, he started in this business, and when he showed up, they kept saying, "You're too small. You're too small. You can't do this. You can't be here. You can't be a wrestler. You're too little." And just through sheer guts and determination, and a lot of crazy stuff that he does, he started exciting fans up and down the Eastern Shoreboard, from Florida to Maine. And now from Delaware out here to beautiful West Virginia and Berkeley Springs. And, this guy has held 56 titles throughout his career. He's, since this is the Covey Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, he is the first trifecta champion in this company, having held the Cruiserweight Championship, which is no longer here, it's television championship now, the heavyweight champion, and he was also the Covey Pro Tag Team Champion on multiple occasions. The first to achieve that goal. He's been here, as others have said, he's been here from the beginning, for 9 years ago till today. And he just, his name is mentioned, people go nuts.
Amen.
when I'm walking on the streets out here in Berkeley Springs, I said, well, is Crazy Shea gonna be there? And it's always, well, he's never not here. He's here. He's coming. This is one man you can count on. And in 9 years, he's missed one show. But that was due to scheduling conflicts. But he loves Cubby Pro and he loves professional wrestling. This is a man who, you look at him and you go, this guy cannot be a professional wrestler. But this is what he wants, and then he makes it happen. He's also personifies now the giving of wrestlers to other wrestlers and handing down things and working as hard as he does for this company, a lot of times going unnoticed by other workers. He's the only one that I know that has been in this business as long as he has and loves this company, and he's there every time to help set up the ring and to help break it down before and after every show. He rallies his troops here and he sells flyers and posters. A lot of people don't do that. This is the man that does it. Said, you know, this is what it takes. And sure enough, as Cubby Pro Wrestling has grown, even from when I started 4 years ago, Cubby Pro Wrestling has gotten bigger and bigger. A lot of it has to do with Crazy Shea. And just knowing him, just for an example, today, you know, Shea lives about 4 hours up the road from here, north of here. He came down specifically, was here at 8 o'clock in the morning so he could be on the radio with me on 92.9, the station. All of that has to do with his present love interest, Laura Kitco. She's great. She's great with him. Then after the show, Erica says, hey, you know what? I want to take you and my brother and Laura up to the caves. So we went spunking today. And that was something very different. And then we walked around town, and of course everybody came out to shake his hand, all the store owners downtown. And being a guy that's 5'8", 175 pounds, he walks like a guy that's 6 foot tall, 300 pounds. And he totally embodies what a professional wrestler should be. So right now, what I'd like to do is introduce somebody that started his career with Crazy Shea, and have him come out and say a few words, and then you got to bear with me for another couple minutes after that. So Chris Wild, why don't you come on out, sir?
It's Friday night. Let's hear it. Come on. Before I start talking about Crazy Shea, I just want to talk about Cubby Pro. You see, this does not happen everywhere. I've been up and down the roads, numerous companies, and no other company takes pride in respecting the people that helped put that company together, like Cubby Pro. So give Cubby Pro a hand. I want to share a couple stories about Crazy Shea because, in hindsight, there wouldn't be a Chris Wild without a Crazy Shea.
That's right.
You see, about 13 years ago or so, I started a company called DCW out of Delaware. And that was the first time I met Crazy Shea. And the way I met him was kind of funny because when you talk about Crazy Shea, I don't think about size. I don't think about look. I don't think about what he does off the top rope. I don't think about what he does off the basketball court. I don't think about what he does off a chandelier or what he could do in this arena. He'd probably be hanging from up there. I think about passion. Because Crazy Shea showed up to that show, not booked. He heard there was going to be a show in Delaware, and he drove down from Baltimore, snuck in the locker room, and sat there, and lo and behold, there was a hole to be filled in the show. And the promoter looked around and said, Shea used to wear this crocodile hat. And he said, hey, you in the hat, or you got your gear. Next thing you know, Shea's in the crowd and doing what he does. And he was with the company ever since. So I'm on a flight to Germany, trying to get some training and some work down there. And the booker said, hey, I want to put you and that blonde-haired kid together because guys your size with brown hair and blonde hair usually do good in a tag team. But he's Crazy Shea and you need a name. Well, being the creative mastermind that I was, that's being sarcastic. Hey, what about Chris Wilde? And the original Wild and Crazy was born that night. A couple moments that I had with Shea I want to share with you. I don't know how many of you watch Monday Night Raw. But if you watch, you know Seth Rollins is the champion. And he has two guys behind him called J&J Security. One of them is Joey Mercury, who used to wrestle around here. Joey Mercury was a mainstay in the locker room at DCW back in the day. And I'll never forget me and Crazy Shea being first on the card, because that's what you do. You put your exciting guys on to get the crowd up. And we go up to the top rope to get the crowd up, and the first thing that happens is our opponents double powerbomb us. And we have the match, and as we get to the back, everybody goes, you guys need to stay clear of Joey because he is going nuts. Apparently Joey's throwing a fit in the back. These guys did a double powerbomb, first move of the match, first match of the night. What the hell are all of us gonna do? And I go to Shea, and I look at Shea, and I'm like, dude, I don't know, what do we do with this? And Shea goes, just relax, brother, that just means I gotta work harder. And he was right. The next show, I'm coming to the arena. I had kind of a bad day. I'm thinking we're on first, it'll be easy. And as I walk into the locker room, I can hear Shea behind me, and he's calling me. And I'm walking because I know it's not going to be good what he's going to say. And he comes up to me and goes, bro. I'm like, what's up? What's wrong? Are we booked? Are we not on the show? Or nah, it's good. I'm like, okay, cool. They're going to let us use tables. Son of a gun. So I went through my first table that night. That was a lot of fun. But the biggest memory I have of Crazy Shea is the fact that in this business, we have guys kind of our size, especially back then. A lot of people have given up on guys like us. And we were put in a program with a team they were the tag team champions, and we got our butts whooped. Night in and night out. Beating after beating after beating, until we're supposed to cap off the big show, the big WrestleMania, the All or Nothing, if you will. And the result was to be of me and Crazy Shea becoming tag team champions. Well, the promoter, the money man of the show, when he heard news of this, went to the booker, who was my trainer, a guy by the name of Jeff Rocker, and said, and he had a picture of us. I was very pasty white and had a flat top back then. And Crazy Shea was a little bit skinnier than he is now. And it was probably the worst picture I wish I had. It was the worst picture anybody's ever taken anywhere. And the promoter says, if these two guys have my tag team championship belts around their waist at the end of the night, there's going to be no show. If you tell me that right now, there will be no show. And Jeff looked at him and said, we've put a lot of time into this. At the end of the night, the crowd will be going nuts. And they're going to be your tag team champions, whether you like it or not. A day later, the promoter puts up a sign on the venue, and it's at a casino, so we're expecting 700-800 people. And he puts up a sign that says, I'm sorry for any inconvenience, but tomorrow night's show has been canceled. Jeff, still believing in me and Shea, went and changed the name from Delaware Championship Wrestling to Dynamite Championship Wrestling, got his own license, and put on the show that night. And at the end of the match, when me and Shea went over for the belts, hundreds of people stormed the ring. And it was like nothing I've ever experienced. This is a guy who has a connection with youth like I've never seen. Fast forward about 10 years later, and all I see all over the internet is Cubby Pro Wrestling. One of my best friends, Bazooka Joe, is wrestling there. I'm seeing Kevin Nash, I'm seeing names galore, I'm seeing clips, I'm seeing TV. And I see Crazy Shea. So I sent Crazy Shea a message, Crazy, you gotta get me in, brother. And maybe a day later, he says he talked to Cody, and next thing you know, and here I am. So tomorrow night, we get a chance to share another moment as we get a chance to fight for the heavyweight championship. I see him staring me down the whole time. It goes too late.
You can turn your back now, but tomorrow night you better be facing us, bro, because you're going to have to go through rather wild or crazy, and it's not going to be a fun night for you. With that, let me turn the table back to John Green. Crazy Shea, we've shared a lot of moments. Like I said, tomorrow night we'll share another one, but tonight you're a Hall of Famer. John Green, take it away.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, Chris Paul. Let's hear it for Chris Paul. So, right now, I want to introduce a man who never walks alone because he's created and grew something called the Lunatic Army by thrilling fans of all ages and all venues that he performs in. Brings me great pleasure to introduce my good friend and our next inductee to the Covey Pro Hall of Fame, Eric Crazy Shea!
It's hard not to catch some feelings up here. Whew, I promised myself I wouldn't cry. All right, there's so many people, 15 years ago when I walked into the gym and everybody told me that I would never be able to do this, I knew we were onto something. You see, people that tell you that, they try to hold you back because they've never been able to do it.
That's right.
You can do anything you set your mind to. If you have the biggest goals, as long as you put forth the effort, this here is proof that anything is possible. I am the littlest guy in Covey Pro. I am 5'9", 170 pounds of fury and ass whipping, and we have taken it to the top. Guys, there's so many things I want to say, but talking about a story, and I have a lot of stories with you guys, and being who I am and what I am, I'm really nothing without half of the opponents that I have faced. They make who I am. Having good guys to go against, that's how you become who you are. You need a good group of guys. It's not just Crazy Shea, and it's not just the Lunatic Army. It's having talent to go against. Now, with that being said, there's a young... No, I was talking about talent, Lewis. That's not you. Yeah. So I want to tell a story, man, because yes, back in the day, if I got you a booking, you were giving me a ride, yeah. So I want to tell this story because he kind of hit on it just a little bit, and this is one of my favorite stories of all times. So he was a young man, and he looked so distraught, and we all have those matches that aren't the greatest, and that's cool. So we're back there, and he's just looking like a freight train had done hit him. He was just destroyed. And I'm like, man, what's going on? He's like, man, I'm not getting many bookings. I'm having some trouble, and I need some. What can you do? I was like, man, look, I've got your back on this. Come down to North Carolina. I didn't need to talk to the promoter because, well, I have owned the promotion. I already had a slide in on that. We were getting him in. But what he didn't know was the next night in Delaware, there was a hardcore match that I was scheduled in. It was a whole show of hardcore. I'm talking light tubes, thumbtacks. Now, Sergeant Cody McGraw back then didn't play with any of this. So he gets there, and they're unloading the truck, and that's normal. That's normal. Unloading a truck is normal for a wrestling show. Then they start pulling out the metal trash cans, and Cody's looking at me like, Shea, I'm playing off. No, Cody, you're good. You're fine, sir. You're good. This is going to be great. Awesome. So everything was fine until they pulled out of the box of light tubes. At this point in time, I think the light went off in Cody's head. And he's looking at me and he's like, no, wait. Cody, do you have insurance? Why? Well, sir, I forgot to tell you, just a little side note, you may want to have insurance. He's like, why? I said, sir, you're going against a Hellaware assassin. And his face, and he's a white boy, but he was a real white boy. All the color, right to the bottom of his feet. So we're at the end of the show. I'm picking glass out of his elbow and telling him how sorry I am for getting him involved in this craziness. Years later, by the way, I still get occasionally, I hit my elbow and I think there's still a piece of glass, Shea. I still get, look, I still get it. It has been a wild ride. You guys have rallied behind a little guy. And more so than I could ever ask you, I would give everything for you guys 100 times over, because the feeling that you guys give me in that ring is better than any drug, any high, any life experience, man. You guys are what I live for. I love you all, and thank you. Coming Pro 2015. And hold on, hey Lewis, I didn't forget about you. You can stand up now. You can turn your ass. God, turn your back on. No. I like the other side. It's much prettier, please. Yeah, no. So you got a Chris Wild and you've got a Crazii Shea. What are the odds? 33-3, you walk out, still on that title? I'm not a mathematician, sir, but enjoy it, because tonight is looking like your last night, because it's about to get wild and crazy.